Hi everybody, Heidi here, your Yorkshire crafter. How are you doing? I hope you're well, as I always do. I'm on my own. It's a Saturday, so I'm just checking the date. It is the 6th of December at 2:30 already. 2:30 in the afternoon. I love doing it on a Saturday because Andy has to look after babies. Haha. Right, I've got all different inks all around me, but you'll see what I'm using as and when I go into them. There's a bit of everything. Maybe I just couldn't make my mind up. I'm just going to straighten that up a bit to what I can see. That will do. Right, so I'm going to crack straight on because I enjoyed my play, but I don't know how long it took. This right now is a 6x6. It is going to be cut down to a 5x5. Just realised I took that there and I need that. So this is the Inkulicious Snow Globe. I might even make it a bit. I'm just looking at the one that I did. I'll have a look when I've finished it. I'm just thinking of, because I've cut it right down to there. But it's still got quite a bit there, so I'll have a look when we're finished. Right, I'm just going to tape that down with our tape dispenser. Love it. Now, I want it to stick to the paper. I'm liking sticking them to paper because I can move it about easy enough. I'm covering the little bits because I don't want any of them on the project. If it touches the edges, I'm not bothered. I mean, I taped it all up before, but I'm not bothered because we're going to cut it down, so I'm only sticking it there so it sticks to both. So I just want a couple of bits. Oh, better cover all of them, ain't I? Be a good start. And then I'm just going to take little bits to cover that. If I pull off one piece, it doesn't bend. So a couple of pieces is fine. I listened to what you said. I'd put the polling group, which is something I don't often do. I don't really like putting polls in. Because I sometimes feel like people have to answer and then don't answer truthfully. Anyway, no, we're only asking if you still want festive videos. So I don't want to put anybody on the spot is what I mean. So as soon as I realised everybody wanted festive, I took the poll back down. Right, I want it more central. So if it's like that, I don't want me to be putting my stamps cockeyed. So if we go more level, that'll do. Right, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do, now, you don't think red and green mix. This was my colour playing as I was doing it. But it actually worked. You wouldn't believe what I'm going to do came from this. So, I'm hoping there's enough yellow on my brush to start us off. Oh, big mistake nearly then. We want a couple of masks cutting out. So what I want to do, well, this is how I drew them out. I've laid the masking sheet there. I've just drawn around it, and then I've drawn where I want my sand. You can do sand if you want. Where I want my snow hill to be. And then this one, if you lay it directly on top, it gives another sand hill. Or snow. So we've got two. So I'm going to roughly cut them out. I don't want to use them scissors. Them's a bit big for what we're doing. So I'm going to cut. There's a lot of waste there. But it won't be wasted because it'll just go straight back into the... These are Pink Frog masking sheets. They're my favourite masking sheets. It's funny, isn't it? Because we like certain things by certain people, and then we don't like some things by certain people, and yeah. But I suppose that's the way of the world, really, isn't it? We like different things. It's a good job, really. So I've gone out of the line so that it's going to stick to my mask. But on the inside, I want it on the line. That feels like I'm cutting left-handed. I would normally cut that way. That feels ever so weird. That is just perfect for what we need. So I'm going to take this mask. This is the lower mask. Yes. I'm going to take this mask off. We're sitting two masks on mask on top of each other. It was just easier to work like this. I've never done it like this before, but it were a bit easier. So where my line is actually the line of the globe, if you like. Come on, what's the matter with you? Tell you what. That's perfect. My hands are filthy because I've been doing it and I've used so many colours. So that is mask one. Now I'm going to do the same thing with mask two. I'm going to cut it down the outer. Like I say, that's just so that it sticks to the mask as well. So that if you put it on the inside, you've got a chance of it coming through, which is what we don't want. And then this side wants cutting. Now I'm cutting the right way. I'm cutting that side on the line. There you go. But also while we're at it, I need this little house cutting out, which I'll show you the little house when we get to it. But if I cut it out while I've got... I was going to use the mask I've already got cut. It's very dirty. And it only takes 2 minutes. I stamped it in Morning Mist. Second generation. You can stamp it in any colour, it doesn't matter. I don't even know if that's right. It's going to do for what we want. Now, we don't want that yet, so I'm just going to put that there. If I lose it, it's there. Shout at me. Right. Now we're going to stick this one straight on top of what we've already put down. I should be able to use my lines as guidance. That should be absolutely perfect. Yep. So you can see the other one underneath. Just making sure that's fully stuck down. Right, we're away. So that were easy enough. So making sure I've got enough yellow on. I'm going to have green here and yellow and red up here. So I want to be quite near the top and I want it to be quite strong. That looks okay. That's all I want for yellow. Now I've got brushes everywhere. I've got inks everywhere. I've got an orange brush. And I'm using Snapdragon. And I'm just going to go around it a little bit. Now that's as far down as I want to go with my colour. So, where's my yellow gone? I'll put a bit more of that yellow back in. Now I'm going to bring in some green now. We've got plenty to do on it yet, but I'm going to bring in some green now. just so I get my colours where I want my colours to be. Now we are going to put green here as well, but we're also going to stamp here, which I'm going to lift the green out after, so that we can colour in. It's a 2-second colouring in thing. So I'm putting a bit of green down and I'm taking it up to where I want it to be. I'm doing it very lightly because they're not going to want to mix, and I am using just what's on my brush. They're not the best colours for mixing, but it worked. So bearing in mind I've got to there, so I want to come to here. I'm going to take a bit of eucalyptus, I think. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Not bothered about putting it there. Like I say, I'm going to be lifting it from there. Oh, that went a bit dark. I'll be okay in the end. Right, so that's the green I want down for now. Now I'm going to put in some... Now then, I think I just went... I got these out as well, ruby red and burnt red. But I think I just ended up with barn door. It was a nicer red than what I thought it was going to be. And all I'm going to do... I did this a lot and all. Cleaning off so I'm not taking that green in with me to the red. So we are going to take it up to it, but we're just going to do it gently. Because we do want them to look like they're blended through, and it will eventually. So yeah, that's a really nice red. Didn't realise how nice it was. We only want a little bit of the orange, so that's good. But now we're going to come in with that orange again. And we're going to blend it through both those colours. If that's how I did it, I can't remember. Yeah, I think I did. Look at the difference it makes with that colour. It's absolutely stunning. Trust the process. It will look stunning when it's finished. There you go. Might take a little bit more red in. Wipe the orange, and then we'll get the full-on red then. Oh yeah. Right, now we'll work on the green. I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to put those reds away because we didn't use them. Leaving the others out just in case we need them. I know I don't need these. I've got so many inks out. You just never know what's going to work, do you? Right, let's put the red brushes to the side. Now, I think I used a bit of bundled sage. So let's use a bit of that. Yeah. Now we are going to stamp here, so it may look like it's going to go a bit muddy, but it doesn't affect anything. But you do want that dark colour behind your trees here. I don't want to bring the red into the... trees. So I'm going in lightly. I'm not gonna, and it's an oxide. I'm not gonna, I didn't think I used any oxides. Well, maybe I did. Like I said, I'm stamping there, so I'm not worried about that yet. Finish with that one. I did use a bit of ice spruce. Let me just clean my brush off. I just can't remember what I used it on. And I'm using oxides on these because, oh, I know what I used it on now, it wasn't there. Because I don't have these in distress inks yet. I'm just going to take a little bit of mowed lawn. Now I know I didn't use this, but it might. Just add a bit more green to that. Right, I'm happy with that. That's absolutely fine. Put that over there. That's my greens. So if I remember rightly, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to lift this first one. We're going to stamp the house. Don't come up together. And then we're going to put this mask back on just while we stamp behind the house, if that makes sense. So I'll just put that there in a minute. There's probably a lot easier way to do it, but this was my way. So we're using mini cabins. We're using the bigger one of the three. Now then, I can't remember what colour I stamped it in. Grey, I think. Where is? Morning mist. Let's see a look. Now, I'm going to stamp it just touching this mask so it looks like it's in the snow. Well, part of it will. I think that's enough there. That's all we need. So that's mini cabins. And with my paintbrush, I'll clean that up as well. Piece of kitchen towel. We're going to pull some of it out, but you're not going to get it all out, but it doesn't matter because of what we're going to do to it. So I'm wet my brush, take some off, and lift. Just keep wiping your brush off. Perfect. Last little bit, there's a lot there. That should be absolutely fine. Oops, I've got an itchy eye, hang on. Oh. Right, that should be fine. So I'm going to put the house mask on. because this will be staying on for a bit. Now then, let me just look at that chimney. Oh yeah. That's fine. And then with that little mask again, I'm going to be taking it straight back off in a minute, but I just want to stamp behind the house. And we're going to use Snowy Trees, but we're going to use this one. That must have been the first time I'd used it. You can't beat the stamps, can you? Inkulicious. Now I'm stamping for definite. Oh, have I just put it away? Nope. Oh, here. Spruce. All my trees are going to be stamped in spruce. That was lucky. And I'm literally going to stamp it right behind it. Gosh, that was touching before I realised. That looks okay because we've got some more stuff to do to it. So that's all we're using out of that one. That's Snowy Trees. Aren't they gorgeous? So we can take this mask back off. That's no good now. Get rid of that one. Now, with Mountain Mist and probably Lagoon, we're just going to lighten that up. So any, like your Salvage Patina would do it. I'm just going to lighten that up a little bit. Give that snow a bit of colour. Perfect. Perfect. We'll come back to house because we'll be putting some, we'll be grounding it as well. So we've put that there, which is what we wanted. We will be coming back to that. I'm going to darken that up a little bit now. I want to do a tiny bit, but you know, just going over the edge. That'll do it. Oh, this is when I'm awkward. Yeah, that's absolutely fine as that. Well done. Ew, that's that one. So we'll be coming back to those ones. I'll just move the brush. Now, stamp-wise, we are using Tall Fir Trees 2. So I'm going to use 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, knock on the door. I think I'm only using 2. We'll see. So I want that one. Gosh, you know, it's so much less stressful when you don't have Lolly in here with you. Who would have thought a dog would stress you out so much? So all my trees are stamped in this colour, which is spruce still. And I'm going to go... Now, I'm trying to keep the top to the top, so it is still all there. You're just going to lose some of the bottom. Perfect. Now where it's gone with the oxide, I'm just looking at the other one. Yeah, I must have used oxide on it because I've got the same mark around it, but it just looks like it's misty. The whole thing looks lovely when it's done. Same again, so I'll move the tree a bit further down. There. And I'm going to pop it a second generation. Not bothered about the stem. We're going to do something with the stem in a minute. Now I'll move to other side. You can do it in black if you don't think this is dark enough. I wasn't sure whether it was dark enough or not. Maybe black could look better. But when we finish, you can see the green through here, and I just thought it really set it off. And then I'll put a second generation. That one's finished with, I think. Then I'm moving to this one. You can see here. You can use any trees, it doesn't matter. But I love these trees, and I haven't used them this year. Not that I can recall anyway. So this one will now come into even look a bit more belonging. And it'll also give a second generation behind the house, because it's going to stamp on the house. So I've got a second generation. Now I'm literally just using my tip now to do these bits, because I don't particularly want it here. So I'll do another one in a minute. And I'm going to put one there. Tip. Perfect. I'm going to show you a little trick what I did. I might surprise myself I did, because I thought it looked really clever. I'm going to stamp that tip there. Yes. Perfect. Now what I did, oh, I need one in that corner. Let me just get that off before it does one. Now what I did, I made sure this was totally nothing on it. And all I did, I'm going to ink up the stem, that's it. And I'm going to put it between the trees here. And it honestly makes it look like you've got more trees than you actually have. I thought it were quite a genius idea. They'll blend in a bit. Yeah, I thought it looked really good. Stamp that one off. Yeah, I thought that was quite clever, you know. Stamp that off. I'm going to put it there. It really does make a massive difference. Right, that one's done for now. Take that off. Well, it's going to be a lot quicker than what I thought it was going to be, you know. I want the piece just to blot, because I know they're going to be very inky. That said it would be. That still is. Right. We're now going to remove this mask. actually, before I do that, I'm going to take a little bit of the black and make sure I get a definite line there. I mean, there probably is one when I take it off, but I just can't see it right now. I'm going to take that off. Now, I'm going to go back in with the teal, the Morning Mist and Lagoon. So I just want Morning Mist first. I can take that mask off now. So Morning Mist first. Paranoid about taking any other colours in. Shame to ruin it. So just taking it in really nice and lightly, let it do its thing. Definitely want it up by the house. That's perfect. Now with a little bit of the Lagoon, put a bit on the brush. I'm going to take the mask that we just took off and I'm just going to have it like that. And I'm just going to give us a little, she says, sorry about the angle that I'm having to do that at. Yes. I'm going to do the same here. It's lost its tackiness, that's why it's not easy. Wow, it really hasn't all. Here's me saying it's really good. I mean, it is really good. It's the only one I use, apart from Masking Magic, of course. There, it just gives it another dimension, if you like. Let's do one there. Hopefully that's worked. I just think it gives the look of slopes, don't you? There, I think that's lovely. Finish with that one. I'm really happy with that. Should have had a bit more white there, but it's okay. Wondering if I can just rub a bit of that off. Oh, perfect. I've got my white back there now. So, you see me do this all the time. I've got my little brush that's got the blue on. Oh, I can't move it. But I'm just going to put it round the house. It doesn't stand out like this when we're finished. In fact, I don't even know if you can see it when we're finished. But it worked in my head, so I needed to do it. That's all I need. Now I'm going to get some pencils. This is really quick, this bit. I used my, that's my Prismacolor. For the trees, I just put a couple of lines in. I didn't even get them to look like they belonged. I just put a few in just, I don't know, I think to lighten it up a bit. But I've told you many times I take a photo part way through to see how things are going and what have you, and it looked okay on the photo. So I mean, you can use pan pastel. We're going to use it in a minute, actually. Told you I only use a tiny bit. Wait till you see what I'm doing. That's all I did with it. It just gave it a little bit of something. Now then, what did I use that for? So I've got sepia, warm grey, chestnut, and sunburst yellow. So I'm just guessing again at how I did it, but I think I did chestnut originally. This is why I wasn't bothered about this green underneath it. Then I went, actually I did the roof white, just ready for what we are going to do with it. Warm grey I put underneath. Is that the eaves? Is that how we call it? Under there? I might be wrong. I could very well be wrong. Just so that gives it a bit more definition. Hey, that was a good word for me. And then that's the window. I did use a bit of white and blended them sort of together. Get more of a cabin look. And then I use sepia. And it gives it a really darker look. I always thought sepia was quite, now then, isn't that what's on old photos? It's like a yellowy, browny, not so nice colour. That's giving me a definite for my door. And then I went back with the white just for, so it looks like a nicely built log cabin. And then I used sunburst yellow for my window. That being said, I did come in with yellow Posca in the end up. I don't know why, because I quite like that. I don't think it needs to be much more than that. In fact, I'm not going to use the Posca. I quite like that. Right, to tell you what we didn't colour. The chimney. That's fine, and then it will have a white snow top. That is looking okay. Now I'm not going to do anything with that yet. We'll do the bit, this bit here, and then we can finish that off because I need to put the innie on. I'll need to put this on soon. So we'll finish this bit off once we've done that. Otherwise I'm going to squash it out. So let's do this bottom bit. Leave that on. Come on. There we go. I'm actually going to use fresh. Otherwise I'm going to end up transferring colour. So I'm just going to put that there. You could make this into a fantastic shaker, you know. It'd look really good. I just realised how far we're tilting. I'm really sorry about that. Gosh. I'm really sorry about that. Is it going to start doing that again where it tilts itself? Right, putting that back in place. I want to go straight across, but then I want to fasten down like we did with the other end, the opposite way when we did the bottom. I want to cover any possibility of any ink going through there. That's in the wrong place. There you go. Not as easy when lights above me. I can't see what I'm doing. It's very dark. It's only early. It is, it's doing its own wobbling, isn't it? I'm so sorry about that. There's not a lot I can do about it. Yeah, I can see it moving. I'm not touching it and it's moving. Right. We shall carry on. I feel so bad. I'm going to end up making you seasick. So for the bottom, I am going to use Ice Spruce. I am going to use Mountain Mist, Lagoon. Something like that for those colours. Let me just move these pencils. Oh, I've got some tidying up to do. So I'm taking the big brush first. I didn't know I was doing these colours, to be fair. I just thought, what colour's going to go with that top? I didn't want red, I didn't want grey, I didn't want brown. So I was a bit, oh gosh, where's it going to end up? And I quite liked it. So I'm going to come in less than what I just did the first bit. I'm definitely, oh, do you know, I thought, what's the marks? It will eat like it has done this now. And I think I worked out, I might be wrong, but I thought, must be sellotape, you know what I've stuck down? Must just be that. I can't believe how much my phone's moving. I'm so sorry. Right, now I'm getting these two brushes. I'm going to use a bit of eucalyptus. I think. Could be the wrong one yet, but there you go. And I'm just pushing it in slightly. I may not have even used that one, but it's all good. Looks good in end up. I'm just gonna give it a polish. You do with your school shoes. I'm going to use Ice Spruce. My favourite Christmas colour. What colour did I just use? Oh, I've just mixed my brushes and that's not something I believe in. Not at all. Oh well. It's done now. Give it a polish. And then lastly, I'm going to come in with a bit of jet black. It's not going to look jet black when it's in. Gosh, it's an awkward angle. There we go. So you've got the jet black at the sides, but you can't half see the green through it. It looks brilliant. So I'm going to lift that now because we're going back to this. And we're going to cover the bottom up again. There we go. One more little bit. There we go. Now I'm using black again. And I'm going to bring it in from where the green starts, not this, not the snow. This is what makes it for me. It makes the red glow. I'm not bothered if it goes down into the snow, but that's not the plan. Look at the difference. I was going to put a big star in the middle, but the image itself is not big enough. That definitely looks like it's misty. Definitely. Right, I think that's enough of this. There's my lid for that. I want some bleed proof, which is here. We're nearly done. I'm going to have to sort a new screen out because you really are on a slant. I'm so sorry. Right. I can't even remember how I did it. I think I used a little bit of Posca. I'm going to use this thin one to do some splats. And with the white, that's wet through, I just gave the roof its colour. We do go whiter, don't we? And then we just came back there. And then I use the bleed proof. Give it a stir. Well, rather than waste, let's see if I can use a bit of that. So I'm just picking that white up. And giving our roof some proper snow. So it actually does dry a bit textured. I didn't want to lose that grey mark, but I've lost it now. Oh well. Be right. Love it. A little bit on the chimney pot. And then we did a little across the door, across the window. It is some little things that make a big difference. And then just coming down. I don't want a lot of it, I just want you to be able to see a little bit of a snowy hill. People do this with stickles, don't they? I'm not a huge stickles fan, so I only have red. And up that side. There we go. There we go. Bit more roundhouse. Let's get snowed in. Oh, that's better. Yeah. It's well snowed in. I love that. I absolutely love that. So I'll finish with that. Now then, like I say, I'm going to use the Posca for the pan pastel for the splatter. And this is how much I use my pan pastel. I'm getting a little bit on my brush, on my ear doodah, and I'm giving our chimney, because when we go in the park in the morning, the one thing I look for on the way back is to see if my chimney's smoking, because I love it. I absolutely love to see chimney smoking. I know it's really sad, isn't it? It just gives me that warm feeling. Right, we are more or less done. Just the splatter. Let's wipe that. So yeah, I could use my bleedproof, but this pen, my little, this one, my little skinny one, gives out finer splats. Although I have to be very careful because it also gives out some chunky ones at the beginning. So that's fine. Be good to me. No biggies. It is harder to get them out as well, but I'm not complaining about that. Down on the snow. Come on, I would like a few more than that. There you go. Now it's snowing. There we go. I'm happy with that. More than happy with that. So I'm going to take this off and then we're going to dry it. And I'm hoping I'm not going to spoil any of it. It's just come straight off. Oh, that will look okay. I'll just move that to the side then. So there you go, there's your picture. I'm so happy with it. But I wanted to do a gold sentiment there. But it wasn't having it. It would not dry for me to do it. So I'll see if this one will. I'm very happy with that. The other one also, I've done a highlight around it and I didn't like it. So, I mean, it looks okay, but it's not what I wanted. Now then, let me just see if it would emboss. So I'll put a bit of powder down. That's a lot of powder. Yeah, no, there's absolutely tons on there. So I'm not going to do it. And then when they're eventually dry, I'll leave them a day or two. When they are eventually dry, then I will put a sentiment on. But I've matte and layered the other one, and I quite like it without a sentiment as well. So you've two choices, haven't you, if you want to or not. I've got these, which you've seen me use. So I was putting joy to the world. And if you've got one that bends, I mean, I still had to bend it back a little bit, but lovely on top. And it's really fine writing, but obviously I'm not putting it on now. Let's put that away. So I'm going to cut this down now to 5x5, and it looks really stumpy, but it fits on the card base. So let me just cut this down. One second. So at the moment it's 6x6. So I want a 6x6. I want 1/4 of an inch. No, 1/8 of an inch. 6x6. No, I want it to be 5x5. So half an inch off either side. Right. One side. So that is 5. By 5. Then we're there. So, like I say, it makes it look quite stumpy. That's stunning, isn't it? Look at that sky. Gosh, this is really doing my head in. I'm very happy with it. That's still got embossing on it, I can see it. Give me a cloth. There you go, it's gone. So, matte and layer, I've got a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 because it fits better in a 6x6. So that's the base. I've gone for a dark green. Now I did try it with a reddish colour, and I wasn't that keen on it. Yeah. So I took photos of the matte and layers on them just to see which I prefer. And I like the green. So I'll stick that down. I hope you like this one. Inkulicious are the cheapest stencils I know. And you have an option to help the environment where you can have it without the packaging, which is what I do with mine, because I file them into my own system, my own little folders. So there's your matte and layer. But also to give it a little bit more impact, I then put it on another white. Perfect. So you make your matte layers as wide or as thin as you want. Everybody likes different. I'm not normally one that goes for wide ones like this is. But I think it needed it. I took about 10 photos with different colours and different widths, and I think this bit's really important to me, how it looks when it actually goes onto the card base. And then I'm going to glue that. Straight onto the base. I'm going to temper it, stick that down. I do that with most of my cards when I'm going to put the topper on. There you go. Now, doesn't that look lovely? And green and red work. It really does look misty, does that? But that is literally using your oxides. That's got glue on. That's not a problem. There it's gone. So there you go. There is your finished card. I hope you like it. I'm really, really pleased with it. Inkulicious do a stamp. This stamp. That fits right inside that globe. But I've seen it done a lot. So I wanted something different. And actually it was Nicola that said, put your own stuff in it. So here we go. That's what I'm doing. Oh, that's not very central. So yeah, they do have their own, and this is the one I've seen done. So this is the dummy one. This was one I did the outline just on one side and bottom, but I don't think it needed it. If I was going to do it, it needed to be further out. But I don't think it needs it if I'm looking at that, to be fair. I really do. I'm so happy with it. And putting those extra little tree trunks in, I think it's genius, actually. I did it loads there. So there you go. I hope you'll have a go. Right, I'm off. It's pizza day. Yummy, yummy. And it's chucking it down. Right, guys, I'm off. And I'll see you very, very shortly with something different again. Love you guys. Bye.